Alright, hello folks. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Time to start up with the pre-stream. Today is Monday, July 25th, 2016. We are now over the hump. We are over the halfway point of the year. We are about to head into, very shortly, the new releases. The big ones, some of the ones we've been waiting for a long time. And once that wave starts next month, in about a week's time actually, we're going to basically never let up. From what I've seen, it seems like there will be a few weeks here or there where there won't be too much new stuff going on. But as you know, once the hardcore gaming season begins, it's a kind of a non-stop wave of attack of game releases. Some really good ones coming up for the rest of this year. In fact, taking a look at the game releases coming up, some of the ones I'm really looking forward to. No Man's Sky, obviously. Everyone's been waiting for that one for years to see what it's going to turn out to be. The new Deus Ex. Really liked Human Revolution years and years ago, and I cannot wait to play this new one. The new Final Fantasy 15. Been quite a while since we had a new numbered Final Fantasy. After that ridiculous trilogy of Final Fantasy 13, we finally get a new game that could possibly make the series interesting again. That's going to be hopefully a good one. To some extent Mafia 3, because I played Mafia 2 recently and actually really liked it. So we'll see how that goes. Battlefield 1, of course. Holy crap. Last Guardian finally going to release. That should be pretty good, right? Dishonored 2. Watch Dogs 2. Oh, new Pokemon, finally. A new Pokemon game after many years of re-releases and stuff. They're finally putting out a new one. South Park, right? South Park, The Fractured But Whole, and the new Dead Rising. Yeah, that's just a handful. I skipped a lot of games there in the release list. But just those games alone, for the rest of this year are going to be such a crazy wave of stuff, gameplay, and fun, and I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. It is it's so fun to be able to do this as a job after all these years, and now we finally get a year. I really do feel like this year, 2016, is a great game year, right? A great gaming year in general. We've already had great releases like Dark Souls 3 and Uncharted 4 and stuff like that, and now we're heading into a really crazy, second half of the year where it looks like tons of new releases are just going to keep us busy for quite a long time. And that's awesome. So obviously I want to say thank you to those of you who will be here checking out the streams and the gameplay and the reviews and all of that. Lots of fun. I love years like this where it's not... this has not been a super disappointing year. Let me put it that way. There have been some years where you get a lot of hype for stuff, but then a lot of it ends up being pretty disappointing or deflating. And so far this year, yes, we've had lots of games like that, but we've also had our share of pretty awesome releases. So as long as we can keep that good mix of the good with the bad, I think we're going to do pretty good for ourselves here for the rest of 2016. So, let's get back on subject now. Today's gameplay stream, which you're all here for, obviously, is the continuation of Silent Hill Homecoming. Now, I obviously don't know if I'm going to beat the game today because I don't know how long it is because I never played it before. At this point, I'm around 6 to 7 hours in. If you have not caught up yet on the videos, shame on you. How dare you? Of course, I'm kidding. But I just arrived in Silent Hill for the second time. The first time, you somehow got magically teleported there, and you don't know how you got there. And then you end up getting kind of teleported back to Shepherd's Glen. But now we've actually went there intentionally to find out what is going on with this conspiracy with Shepherd's Glen and the founders and this mysterious cult-like religion that they were practicing, and what is their tie to Silent Hill. Where is your brother? Now Elle's been kidnapped, so you got to try to find her. So a pretty interesting plot. Now, I'll be honest here, I said this yesterday. I feel that this interesting plot of Silent Hill Homecoming is paired with some pretty shoddy game mechanics. Let's face it here. The combat of Silent Hill Homecoming leaves something to be desired. It's very basic and pretty Not evolved, let's put it that way. I mean, this is a game from 2008, so it's 8 years old. But at the same time, I mean, we've had a lot of much better combat-style engines than this before. Unfortunately, the fact that the game runs at a frame rate that goes incredibly choppy during the combat scenes doesn't help it. I mean, yesterday I fought this boss, the doll boss, which everyone was... I kept seeing people in the stream chat for days saying, when Phil gets to that doll boss, he's gonna rage. When Phil gets to that doll boss, he's gonna fail. Well, I did fail once. I died once, but it was more because I used my healing item, the stupid serum, by accident, because the inventory system in the game also sucks. But then when I went back and gave it a second shot, I did beat the boss, but it was pretty annoying because the frame rate was so choppy. I mean, we're talking low teens. You know, when it's 13 frames per second, and the boss is basically teleporting all over the screen, it's kind of hard to react to what's going on. So, you know, it was pretty annoying in that regard, and I think that the game actually suffers hugely because of that. It could have been a much better game if the graphical engine could have held up for what they were looking to do with the game, you know? It says something that, oh wow, the graphics aren't too bad, but oh shit, now the combat is terrible because of the choppy frame rate. So we'll see, you know, we got more coming today. I don't know how much longer there is. I mean, is the game 9 hours long? Then I might beat it today. But I don't know how long the game actually is. I have no idea. So I don't know if I have another several streams in store for this, or if I'm beating it today. I have absolutely no idea. I know many of you who are watching now probably have played this game before and know that answer. I don't, okay? So that's today's stream. Now later tonight, I'll be playing more Persona 3. I'll be doing around 2 hours of Persona 3 gameplay. And that's going to be not streamed at all. That's going to be recorded offline. And, that'll be good. A couple more hours of progression. If you're not aware, I'm finally almost done with Persona 3. In fact, last time I played it, people said maybe 2 or 3 more sessions and I should be able to finish it up, because I've actually gotten far enough in the dungeon of the game where there's nothing to do in it. I basically just have to keep progressing the story with doing S-links and having days pass by until the next big story milestone happens, and then there's a little bit more, and then it's the end of the game. So, the good news is, it's looking like I am kind of on pace to complete Silent Hill Homecoming and hopefully Persona 3 either by the end of this week or maybe the first half of next week. So we'll see, you know, based off of how things go, the actual schedule, but it's looking like I am on par, which is good. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to have the lingering, ongoing stuff finished, so that as I went into the month of August, where there's going to be new releases, you know, almost every single week, some weeks multiple new releases, I wanted to be freed up for that. And it looks like right now I'm going to be freed up for that, so that's a good thing. Very nice. So that's the rough idea. Now I have an update with tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a huge update. This is very important because when I did the weekly preview last night, we didn't have full information yet on the release timing of stuff this week. I have a little bit more information, okay? It's looking like, as of tomorrow, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to start with tomorrow's gameplay stream with the preview, the advanced preview of We Happy Few. Now, it's going to be available early in the morning, apparently, so that's good. That means that I'll be able to play it on stream. That's a good sign. Also, it's important to note there's no story right now. This is the advanced version where you're getting a tease for the gameplay. Supposedly, it's just survival mode of the game. We were supposed to get kind of a taste of what the game's going to be like when you actually play it. So, really, it's just going to be gameplay. And I realize, for the 3 to 3.5 hour stream that I do, probably just doing survival mode gameplay isn't necessarily going to be the most fun thing on the planet. And in fact, it may actually get boring after about an hour or so of playing through this. So being that I know that this is the case, here's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to probably do a split stream, which I almost never do, okay? The first half of my stream, I'm going to be checking out We Happy Few, the survival mode. And then the second half of the stream, I'll switch over, and we're going to be doing the Minecraft Story Mode Episode 7. So these Story Mode episodes have typically been around 90 minutes long. So that'll be good. What I'll do is I'll play We Happy Few for about an hour or so, and then I'll switch over and we'll play that episode. So a dual stream tomorrow. 2 things in one. And that'll be pretty cool. And then, you know, depending on how things go, maybe I'll do a video for KO Gaming regarding my initial impressions on the gameplay of We Happy Few, right? That could be kind of fun. Taking the gameplay that I did from the stream and, you know, editing it together to showcase some of the stuff I discovered and give my thoughts on it. Now, there is a new character in Street Fighter V this week, Juri, returning from Street Fighter 4. She releases tomorrow, but there's still no time frame. In fact, I'm gonna check one last time since I'm on pre-stream right now. And I'm just gonna see if any time has been given. I don't think it has. Well, it would be nice if my laptop worked. No, there's stats. They know her theme song, but no one knows what time Juri will be releasing on the various consoles tomorrow. Okay? So here's the deal. Since there's absolutely no idea of a time frame of when Juri's releasing a Street Fighter V, I'm going to play it safe. And I'm going to play it safe, and instead of saying, oh, let's do it tomorrow, no. I'm going to play with Juri on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, I'm also making a pot of sauce. Homemade sauce, which means that it has to simmer, and I have to go down and stir the sauce every 20 minutes or so. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll make the sauce, I'll start the stream, I'll probably, you know, play Juri in training mode, go stir the sauce, check her out with her trials, maybe do her story mode, go stir the sauce, maybe do survival mode, then go stir the sauce. See what I mean? It'll be perfect because what I'm doing in Street Fighter V isn't like a narrative-based game, so I could easily break it up to go and go downstairs and upstairs and get this done. So that's going to be Wednesday. Wednesday will be Juri and Street Fighter V, the entire gameplay stream. It'll probably start a little later, but it'll also run a little later than usual. And so that'll be good. And then what that'll do is that'll leave the rest of the week open, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, etc., for me to finish up Silent Hill if I haven't beaten it yet, and then to focus on Persona 3. So it should be a good way to get through the new content and end the week strong. So there you go. That's kind of the amended schedule based off of the new developments in the information that we got overnight regarding this week's new releases. Okay? So that's the deal, ladies and gents. And that's really it. I'm not really going to go too much longer on the pre-stream here. I'm just going to do the gratuitous plugs, all right? Now, in particular, there's 2 that I really want to stand out today. Obviously, as you can see, you can follow me on Twitter. Please check out my videos over on KO Gaming, which is youtube.com/KO Gaming 1. Also, check out my vlogs on the King of Hate Vlogs. You know the deal. You know what exists and what to check out, okay? But what I would like to highlight today are 2 things. First of all, my girlfriend Leanna has her own business called The Black Current. She sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. And as of right now, she actually launched this last night, she's having a sale. She is having a month-end sale for the rest of this week, I believe. If you go to her shop at etsy.com/shop/The Black Current, and you use code SUMMERSALE20, that's SUMMERSALE20, you will save 20% off any order of $10 or more. So a 1/5 discount. Pretty good. Especially if you've been waiting to buy something from the shop, or you've had you had an idea that you might want to buy something from the shop, but you haven't yet. This would be your opportunity to do so. It would certainly behoove you to save that 20%, right? So, Summer Sale 20. Please consider placing an order that's only good for this week. Once July is over, so is the sale. So you must order soon. But really, last but not least, the thing that I want to highlight, and I'm going to be highlighting this every day, so you better get used to it, is Patreon for the month of July and the goal for July, which is the return of the Patron's Choice playthrough. Previous Patron's Choice playthroughs ended up being really unique and fun, including Minecraft and Persona 4 and 3. Games that normally I certainly would never have played, but have opened my eyes to an entire world of gaming that I basically had been oblivious to up until I actually checked out those games thanks to the voting of the patrons, excuse me. So please consider pledging this month at patreon.com/darksidephil. If you pledge $5 or more and we hit the goal, it means that you'll be nominating and voting on what game will be my next playthrough for Patron's Choice, and it'll start in early September, okay? Pretty awesome. So please consider pledging. Right now we are far below the goal. I'm not joking here. We're several $100. A lot of people last month, put in large pledges because of the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 marathon that's going to take place in early August. But then they removed those large pledges because they said, well, I made my large pledge, the Sonic Marathon's going to happen, great, but, can't do that every month, and I understand that. That's perfectly fine. I've said this many times before. The people who are most successful with Patreon are people who have a ton of viewers and or pledgees who give $1 a month. $1 single a month, right? Think about it. If 1/10 of the amount of people who watch my content gave $1 a month, I would never have to worry about any kind of ad revenue or anything at all. Patreon would be my source of income. But we're not there yet. So please consider pledging if you have not yet. Of course, it's not just about this Patron's Choice playthrough. It's also about personal perks and stuff that you'll get. All the details are on patreon.com/darksidephil, so please check it out if you have not yet. All right. So, ladies and gents, that is pretty much it for the pre-stream. As I said, I didn't want to go too long. Thank you for being here. Without further ado, let's begin the continuation of Silent Hill Homecoming. I hope you're excited. I hope the game's story stays as good as it's been. And I hope I can get through the low frame rate gameplay. All right, thanks for being patient. Let's get started.